At this point in my life, in my 40s, I'm noticing a lot more themes that come up more regularly than ever before. Like deaths of friends in grade school or high school, or my friends or acquaintances' parents or relatives, brothers, sisters whom I grew up with, our friends getting illnesses, or people having grown up kids. And these kids we've met when they were babies and now they're in college or they're already working, etc. Another one that I unfortunately witnessed was a few separations or divorces. As a friend, this is always very somber and painful. There is a parallel to this theme in relationship breakups. I like to talk about this from a friendship perspective. Welcome to Human Thesaurus presents Epitome Anatomy. My name is Wish, a retired tech operator, indie author, cat mom, and a self-aware life explorer. Epitome Anatomy is an opinion piece on the power of words and their ethos that I extracted from this life. Ready for the epitome of separation? Let's go. Our keyword is separation. This one is a sweetened explanation from vocabulary.com. When two things that were together come apart, it's a separation. Whether they're two halves of your Oreo or a married couple splitting up. In this episode's direct meaning under the term in law, separation is the cessation of cohabitation of a man and wife, either by mutual agreement or under a court order. Quite serious. The etymology of the word separation was first used in circa 1400s, which originates from the Old French séparation, and I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, I should have researched this, and Latin separationem, which means a severing, detaching, or dividing, rooted in separare, meaning to pull apart. It combines se, as in the se, which means apart, and parare means make, ready, or prepare. It denotes the action or state of being disconnected, detached, or divided. For some reason, I have this instinct with my friends around me. No matter how connected we are, it's not practical for some people who are able to keep in touch with every single one or keep tabs with every single relative, family, or friends that they have. And that's me. I may not be keeping tabs with everyone all the time, every day or once a week or something like that, or not as frequently as I wanted to. But when we get our time together, I make sure that it's always quality. Quantity is there, but I think the most crucial with relationship is the quality that you give to that relationship. Mostly I have this instinct. Sometimes someone comes up. It's like, oh, I wonder how my friend A is doing. And then it keeps on playing in my head for a few days. And, life happens. You're busy. You're doing a lot of things. And then you miss just sitting down and texting someone or calling someone to say, hey, how are you? I haven't heard from you, or just checking in. I tend to do that because when someone just enters my mind and I'm wondering how they are, and then eventually I will message them how they are or checking in with them. And then true enough, there's always a news. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you, or something is going on with me. I'm not okay today. There's always something like that. there's this one of the news that ideally you don't wish to hear is, oh, I'm getting a divorce, or I just broke up with my boyfriend or my partner for a long time. And, you don't like hearing that, because ultimately, if you're a good friend, all you wanted, all you wished for would be for your friends to be happy for the rest of their lives. But sometimes there are bumps in the road like this, and they're able to express or even tell you comfortably what's going on with their lives. When it comes to separation, sometimes it's hard to say, right? Like, have you seen it coming or not? And it's not a judgment. Sometimes it's just a feeling that something happened, or that it's a slow burn, it's a slow car crash for some reason. But you always set it aside because you don't want to wish that on anyone. You don't want to wish ill of your friends or of your loved ones. Sometimes it's so weird for me, but I accepted it, that I have this instinct when someone crosses my mind, I needed to message them just to say hello. Not because I'm wishing them ill. It's really more of a feeling that I needed to be in touch with these people. And then they always have something to share, whether it's good or bad. And I always wish it's good. It's like, Going back to separation, throughout life, we have to choose whether we like it or not. Which parties are we going to side with? It's quite elementary. It's quite a grade school thing if you think about it, but it's not. It's deeper than that. There seems to be this upheaval of fracture that would happen in breakups of our friends' relationships. You wish for it to be amicable, and sometimes it does. And what's sad is, in this world, is if it's amicable, other people are still pushing for something distasteful, because not everybody can believe that breakups could be amicable, really. There's always something that you need to scratch beneath the surface. But really, sometimes it just works. It's the best solution for people to separate and demystify that dissolution of the relationship, that it wasn't working anymore. This separation thing, when it comes to the friendship dilemma, sometimes, even though it's not verbalized, but you need to pick a side. You need to pick where your loyalties are. And it's unfortunate. Sometimes you meet one and then you meet their partner. It's so enmeshed. Your relationship with them are so enmeshed, not just with one, but together, that when something like separation happens, you have to take a side, because it's not, well, one of them is peer pressure. Number two is one of them probably you're closer with, or who would need your support better, or depending on the circumstance of, or the reason of the breakup, that you need to support whoever's in the right. It's so complex. That's why I keep on saying or. While I'm chatting now, I'm also deciphering in my brain how complex this idea, this friendship dilemma is, this portion wherein when someone breaks up, where does your loyalty and support lie? It will all depend on the situation that's being presented, or that you've observed, that you see. But ultimately, what's important when it comes to separation like this is you protect the people who are majorly on this, because you should just be in the background. You cannot add to the drama or to the situation. If you can't offer anything, just stay the back out of it. I think what I'm saying here is like the dilemma of choosing sides or reacting to these unfortunate breakups is be in the background for support. don't give advice when they don't need it. Just be there and listen to the situation. And that's how you can help out. At least in my mind, that's all I could do. There are a few situations wherein at first I have to ask, why do I have to take sides? Why can't I still be friends with both? I love these people and I'm not really involved with whatever went down with them. I chose to become friends with both, and I was extremely protective of the both of them because there are bad players around them while they are having quite the most ideal breakup that you will ever hear, that everything is amicable, everything is cooperative. They still love and support each other. It's just that they're in completely different pages and they cannot reconcile it anymore because they've grown apart. They've grown apart as people, as individuals, and it's not about the question of love for each other. So knowing these situations, I hate the fact that I have to ask, do I have to choose a side? Because most of the time, versus this one good example of, I think that we would all prefer that most of these situations, you do need to choose a side. It tends to really fracture a lot of relationship, and sometimes it just fades away. It's not even dramatic, or it's not even like highfalutin, or it's not even loud, in this separation. With what happens with friends, it just automatically falls in places. Who goes where, who supports what. And sometimes with these separations of two people, if you're in the background, you just tend not talk to the other because you're more in alliance with whoever you're siding with. And it's not about just siding with what's right or what's wrong. It's more of siding where your friendship is, where your access is, and where really a lot of loyalty is behind this. As a dilemma for friendships when this happens, when you choose, since you're in the background and you can't make it all about you, and you shouldn't. We're living in a world now where everybody thinks they're the main character because, this constant post of yourself means that you're the main character on social media. But that's not how humanity should work in real life. In real life, we tend to be mostly, with all its humility, to be in the background of all the people that we love so that when they fall, we catch them. When they fall behind, we're there in the back to catch them. That's the important part. So regardless of what happens with the friendships, we just needed to accept, I think in general, not just with this situation, is that really there are different phases in friendships. You cannot keep all of them. Some friendships are really just for a moment, and some friendships are for a lifetime, and some friendships are for particular bookmarks in our lives, for a particular facet of where we are in the phase of what we're going through at that time. So not all situations have to end up ugly in terms of being involved as a friend in the middle of someone else's separation or divorce or breakups. If you think about it, we've been through a lot of this. At least I'm going to just speak for myself. I've been through a lot of breakups of all of my friends for so long, since teenage years, or not even friends, even like relatives who break up and having volatile relationships. All I do in those situations is not necessarily choose. I just see if I'm needed there for support and do the right things and try to do the right things for them until they heal, because that's the best I could do. These alliances can be for both. You don't need to do it in just one side. It's a roller coaster. Relationship is really complex and beautiful and ugly and wonderful and taxing. It's always a tricky one, isn't it? Separation of other people. But I do hope that when this happens, you try to put yourself in their shoes and you empathize. And if silence is golden, I think this is one of the best things that we could offer for them. Silence, yet listening. How do you feel when your people around you break up? What's your main concern when this happens? What do you think and what do you feel about this episode? Please comment. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, ciao. Epitome Anatomy is produced by me and Jeremiah Ronquillo. Music by Ketsa UK. All rights reserved by Wishblaz Media. Comment, like, subscribe, and share wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also visit humanthesaurus.co. Thank you and see you in the next episode.